Think with the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back the baby to Cleveland.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going to try to get one more shot off the air. Push the buzzer.
How about that?
Steps over Toronto. He thought about three. He'll put up a three.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents 3 from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Calenzo. Welcome to the show. Thank you all very much for joining me coming out of the weekend here. Happy Monday, y'all. Was definitely an interesting weekend in the NBA. Coming out, we had a nice little scuffle there, a little old school scuffle. Saw the highlights again. I thought it was interesting, but Detroit Pistons getting a little bad boy in them there, going against the T-Wolves, showing a little heart. I miss those old dust-ups. You know, the NBA is a little too friendly. It's friendly now. I like those old dust-ups. But welcome, guys. Thank you all for joining me here from 3 from Deep. Listen, if you haven't jumped on Boom Broadcasting yet, please like and subscribe. If you like the show, drop me a line. Drop me a comment, man. I appreciate all the love and support I'm getting. You guys are awesome. If you checked out the new intro, please let me know what you think, dude. I think it's pretty cool. Makes me feel kind of big time. I dig it. But thank you all very much for joining me. And I want to thank Cody from Drew Code Sports Talk and my man, Michael Davis, the president of Boom Broadcasting. They hooked me up with that cool intro video here, guys. So I got a lot of support here from my team, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys out there for listening, and that's why I'm here. So we're going to jump right in to some quick action here. Not too crazy a weekend to talk about, but we've got a few things we're going to dive into here. But Thunder, man, they are on a roll. I think they are on a mission this year. Just got their 9th victory Saturday against the Pacers. Pacers just scored 160, whatever, almost 200 points, whatever you want to say, but came off a good win, but hit those rolling Thunder, and them Thunder kept on rolling. So Saturday's victory against the Pacers, 132-111, behind 33 points from SGA, the current MVP frontrunner. Chet Holmgren did play in that game. He's managing that hip injury here, which I understand. But right now, those Thunder are 3 games up on the Cavaliers for best record, 62-12. Hartenstein got hurt too in this game. I don't know how serious it is. I haven't seen too much left. I do miss him in New York. He's got a lot of Hartenstein, but left with hip soreness, didn't play in that second half. So I think these next 8 games or so, you're going to probably see some management with these guys here, so nobody gets hurt. They want to go into these playoffs with a full complement, because I think coming out of the West, you're going to need Chet, you're going to need Hartenstein, you're going to need everybody. It's going to be all hands on deck for the playoffs. But it's going to be interesting here, because you know what, man, Oklahoma City, they looked great last year, but then hit a super hot Mavs team led by Luka Doncic, and just got blowed out by them. Didn't fare well against them last year. That the Mavs knocked them out in the semis. Right now, there's a ton of movement going on, especially in the West as far as playoff seeding. But right now, if it were to end today, the Mavs would play the Kings in that kind of play-in, and then the T-Wolves would play the Clippers in another play-in, and that T-Wolves Clippers, whoever wins loses that one, ends up playing the Rockets. Mavs Kings. I think in what I'm seeing, especially from the Mavs right now and the way they're playing, now that AD's back, I think the Mavs have a good shot of beating the Kings. Because right now they are 4-0 when Anthony Davis is on the court. So if Anthony Davis stays healthy, Mavs can get past the Kings. I think they're going to probably end up playing SGA. So I think Oklahoma City is going to want revenge, even though Luka's not there anymore. Kyrie's hurt, just for the simple fact that they know what the Mavs did to them last year. So watch out for Oklahoma City. I think they are on a mission this year. They want to make up for last year. Can the Oklahoma City, though, get over that hump? And that's one of the biggest questions right now. Best record in the NBA. You have SGA, who is playing on another planet. He's going to be the MVP, which I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit too. But can they break through, get to the Western Conference Finals, and get to the NBA Finals? I'm still not sold, guys. I'm sorry. I need to see them get into the playoffs and just be a great team. You see a lot of these great teams during the regular season, and you go, man, they look great. Oh, man, they're going to steamroll everybody. And then they get into the playoffs, and they fall flat. They don't produce. They don't come out with any intensity. There's no sense of urgency. They just kind of walk through things, and then they end up getting blitzed by another team. We've had some playoff series like that too. But right now, Oklahoma City, this is the West for them to lose. They are in charge right now. They have the best record. They have the MVP supposedly coming up right now. I want to see what they do in that first round of the playoffs. I want to see the intensity they come out with and how they take care. Because those first couple of rounds of the playoffs, they should get through those no problem. That's what great teams do. Great teams. I ain't saying faux. I'm not saying that because that West is so deep. But if they do match up against the Mavericks and they go against AD, but they got Chet, and they get Chet back and he's healthy, they get Hartenstein back, I think they can kind of match and size up and manhandle AD. Because then after that, Dallas is a little lacking on their team right now, because that half that team is hurt. So I'm surprised they haven't had to forfeit, knock on wood, haven't had to forfeit any games yet. But I need to see something. OKC, you've had a phenomenal regular season. The proof is going to be in the playoffs. And we'll see from there. I want to see that first round. Because if you do play the Mavs in the first round, there is no reason why you should not sweep them. Period. If you are that good and that great of a team, you should sweep them, no problem. So we're going to see what happens. There's still a lot of basketball left, that West, especially at the bottom on 5, 6 through 10. There is a lot of movement. Suns are out. Suns can come back in if the Clips lose, if the T-Wolves lose. There's just so much movement. The next 8 games are going to be super, super exciting, guys, especially for those teams fighting for a playoff spot. But we're going to jump into the second best team in the NBA right now. The Cavs hit that 60 mark on Sunday with a big win against the Clippers, 127-122. Jared Allen with 25. D. Mitch with 24, Evan Mobley with 22. I mean, they just from top to bottom, I think they have the most consistent team in the NBA right now. Yes, you have the Celtics, who are the returning champs. You have OKC, who are, 3 games ahead of them. But there is not one guy on this team that is the kind of the alpha dog. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, yeah. But Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, you got guys on this team that at any moment can step up and be the big dog on that squad and pick somebody up if they're not having a good game. So that's what makes this Cavs team so scary, is because from top to bottom, they are probably the deepest team from starters to the bench in the NBA right now. And to hit 60 wins. It's the third time in franchise history, first time since 2010 season. Salute. But that's another one, too, with questions. Can these Cavaliers take this phenomenal season and turn it around and get to the Eastern Conference Finals? Can they get through the gauntlet that is the East? I know it's probably not as deep as the West. West still probably the hardest to get through. Well, that should be easier for the Cavs because the East is not as easy. So again, if everything lays flat right now and you got the Bulls playing the Heat in the one play-in, Orlando would play the Hawks. I think Orlando is definitely better than the Hawks. No insult to Trey and that Hawks team, but Orlando, to me, is one of my sleeper teams with Paolo and Franz. I think they end up playing the Celtics. Bulls playing the Heat. I mean, you got Wiggs, Bam Adebayo. I mean, they may be able to catch fire, but I just don't see the Heat being able to take on the Bulls. Giddey and White have been playing phenomenal basketball here as of late. They've had some big, big wins. So I see the Bulls beating the Heat. So if that was to happen, then I think the Bulls play the Cavs. And I think the Cavs would have a tough time beating the Bulls. I really do. But again, this is what I'm saying. If you are that great of a team, you should sweep that first round. No problem. No questions asked. You should not be hit in the mouth by one of these teams. And to me, I would not want to play Chicago because I think Chicago is one of those teams that if they catch fire and they get a little sure of themselves and they start muscling you guys around, Cavs better watch it because I think they could be shocked. And that to me is probably going to be the biggest test for these 60-win teams is when you get hit in the mouth. Do you shake it off and then do you hit back or do you go down and fold? Let's see what happens. I have the Cleveland Cavaliers going to the NBA championship. I just think they are that good and that well stacked of a team from the bench players all the way to that starting lineup. To me, everybody can get you 20 and 10. It's crazy how symmetrical that team is. There's not one guy like, okay, let's knock SGA out. Who's going to take over? Let's knock Joker out. Who's going to take over? You take Mitchell out, you still got a bunch of guys that can drop 20 or 30 points on you. I mean, you take one guy out, there's another one right behind him. I think the Cavaliers have a better shot at getting to the NBA Finals than Oklahoma City. I don't have Oklahoma City in the finals right now. I still have Denver and Jokic because I still think Jokic is playing better and has that team playing better. And we'll get into that discussion here in a little bit. But we play my New York Knicks play the Cavaliers on Wednesday night. Jalen Brunson's still out. He's hoping to be back for the playoffs. I hope we can get him back. But, guys, I think this is the Cleveland Cavaliers year. That 60-win team looks phenomenal. I don't think anybody's going to beat them. And that's including the Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics are on a mission. They want to repeat. Jason Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Horford, those guys, they want to repeat. They want to get back. Mazzulla is a heck of a coach, man. I don't think he nearly gets enough credit for what he's doing. Coach of the year, you got Bickerstaff and some of these other guys out there, but I think Mazzulla needs to be up in there too. But I don't see that Boston team being able to outplay, outscore, and outdefend the Cleveland Cavaliers. So right now, guys, Cleveland, unless some craziness happens where you get a bunch of guys that get hurt, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers going to the NBA Finals right now, but this is going to be interesting once they get into the playoffs, to say the least. So I want to say welcome back. Welcome back to Mr. Curry, Chef Curry, off his 2-game absence from falling and bruising his coolie or hiney or whatever you want to call it, fell on his backside. Knock on wood, he was very ecstatic that he did not have a more serious injury. But Friday night comes back, 23 points, 6 assists, a win against the Pelicans. I mean, it was the Pelicans, but a win is a win in the NBA. And that vaulted them back into that 6th spot, because without Curry, they had fallen back to the play-in. But that 2-game losing streak hurt. Curry, not his best shooting performance, 7 for 21, 5 for 16 from 3, about 31%. So definitely not his best shooting. So I think he's got to get his game legs underneath of him. But it's just good to see him out there playing and that team winning, because the Golden State Warriors need Steph Curry. Because right now, I am extremely disappointed in Jimmy Butler. I was hoping Curry went down. You came in, went to play your former team, the Miami Heat, and I don't even think you got off the plane. Scored 11 points. Miami just beat the heck out of you guys. You looked terrible. You looked unenthusiastic. You looked like you had a Heat uniform on. This is like before the trade. Jimmy Butler looked like the Miami Heat Jimmy Butler. What happened to I just signed a max contract. I'm now in Golden State with Steph Curry. I'm smiling. What happened to smiling Jimmy Butler? He got off the plane in Miami, and that just all went away. And then came back, scored 25 against Atlanta, but still lost. So 2 losses in a row. That dropped them back down to that 7th spot, that play-in. That's why that West is so volatile right now. Every win is going to count the next 8 games here. Excuse me, especially for teams like the Warriors, the Clippers, the T-Wolves. I mean, you got a bunch of guys fighting for those playoff spots right now. So Golden State, can you do a historic run now that Steph Curry's back? Can you invigorate Jimmy Butler again and get playoff Jimmy to come out of his shell and be that guy you need with Moody, Butler, Green, Brzezinski, Hield? What happened to Buddy Hield? Kuminga, Post. I mean, so right now, I think Golden State can make a run if Steph Curry is 100%, improves that shooting percentage, gets a couple of games. Right now, they're a half game ahead of the Wolves and the Clippers in the loss column. They have every game is going to be important. They play the Nuggets. That's going to be a tough game for them to win, because right now Joker's playing out of his mind. We'll talk about that in a second here. I want to see Golden State make a run. I think that's one of my favorite teams that I've been able to watch over the past 10, 12 years here. You know, the Knicks did not have some very great teams over the past 10, 15 years. So it was hard being a fan, but man, I loved watching the Golden State Warriors and the basketball they played just through those championship teams with Clay and Steph and Draymond. Throw KD on there, take KD off. They are still a fantastic team. Steve Kerr, I think, needs to be put up into the pantheon of some of the best coaches and best winners. Won his rings with the Chicago Bulls, now as a coach with the Golden State Warriors. I would love to see Golden State make a run in these playoffs. I think it'll be awesome. to see Steph Curry because, my babyface assassin, dude, he's 36, going on 37. He's not young anymore. He's not a kid. Like, I don't know how many more times he's going to be able to make it deep into the playoffs unless Golden State next year really does some retooling / maybe gets a trade and gets themselves a couple of big-time guys because I don't see Jimmy Butler being that guy right now. Like I said, I was real disappointed in him and the way he's been playing lately. So Jimmy Buckets, step it up, man. I want to see Golden State. I want to see Steph Curry making some noise in the playoffs, and he can't do that alone. He needs Draymond. He needs you. He needs Hill. He needs Moody. He needs all those guys. That whole team has to play on all cylinders to even make some noise in the West because the West is crazy right now. So, quick timeout here. Excuse me. My little sip of coffee here. Salud. Yes, I got my Giants mug here. Go Giants. If you guys didn't watch last night's show of the Gridiron Address, my man Aaron has a phenomenal show. He's been doing a lot this offseason with the NFL. So, guys, if you have not jumped onto Boom Broadcasting, go back and watch some old shows, which you can. They're all on demand. You can go back and watch them. It doesn't cost anything. Just like and subscribe. Get in there and go watch some of Aaron's old shows, especially with the draft coming up here. For me, as a fantasy football fan, it has been informative to be on Aaron's show and to listen to his show. And then tonight, you have Hoops and Helmets with Aaron and Carson, Boom Broadcasting's brand new show. If you guys haven't checked that out, please do so. They're going to go over everything from March Madness from this weekend. So it looks like we have 4 number ones going to the men's Final Four. How did your bracket pick the last 4? I must say, in my one bracket that I picked, I didn't go crazy this year and do like 20 brackets. I picked one bracket, and I got the Final Four right. In fact, I had the Elite 8 right, too. So I'm taking that as a victory right now. I got Florida winning the whole thing. That's going to be tough because, of course, Duke is in there. So, but guys, check out Hoops and Helmets with Carson and Aaron tonight, 5:30. Awesome show. They're going to go out over everything March Madness. They also do shows on Thursdays at 5:32. And they're going to talk about football and a lot of the college football. You got spring stuff coming up with college football. So great new show from Boom Broadcasting. So you guys got to check it out, Hoops and Helmets. If you haven't done so yet, please do so. But I want to talk about something here real quick during my halftime. Usually I do my top 5 or I do something. I'm not allowed to show highlights. I don't have the express written consent of the NBA, so I don't want to cause any trouble. I'll poke a little bear here and there, but guys, if you have not seen some of the plays Nikola Jokic has made, and this is one of my I want to talk about here real quick, because look, it looks like SGA has the MVP pretty much wrapped up. I think he's going to get the most votes. It's going to be close, but he's averaging 30 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 6.3 assists. His team, best record in the NBA right now. So it's hard not to pick. It's a good pick. It's a safe pick. But right now, Nikola Jokic, for me, is the best player in the world. Period. Coming back off that, I don't want to say injury because he's always banged up. So I think he took a few games off just to kind of get a little healthy. First game back against Milwaukee Wednesday. If you have not seen that no-look pass, you're missing the NBA, guys, because some of the plays he makes are phenomenal as a big man as it is. But that net where he's looking and just does this and the ball flies past everybody, no one even sees the ball. And then the assist. How a big man can make plays like that, I don't know. And then Friday night, the one-handed, one leg from not even 3 from deep. I mean, he was deep back to beat the halftime buzzer. One-handed, one-legged, chucks it up, and it's nothing but net. I mean, it was. He makes some of the most phenomenal plays. He's got some of the best footwork that I've seen from anybody his size and shape. The dad bod god is the best player in the world, period. Averaging 29.3 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 10.2 assists. He's averaging a triple-double for the year. Got the Nuggets in the playoffs. Guys, I mean, come on. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Drop me a comment. I want to know who your best player in the world is. For me right now, hands down, it's Joker. SGA is going to get the MVP, but I think it's going to be mega close because if Nikola Jokic over the next 8 games, the games he plays, because I have a feeling they may rest him here and there too. That's the other thing is they may rest SGA. This is coming down to that kind of management scenario with a lot of these teams. But if Joker continues to make highlights like that and wins, and you see that, and he continues to average a triple-double, this is probably going to be the closest MVP battle we have seen in years. I mean, this may come down to a vote because that's how close these guys are playing. Because once you go, SGA, with Nikola Jokic out, you watch each SGA padding his stats, he looks phenomenal. Then Joker comes back and does the no look and your mouth and your jaw drop. And then he does the one-handed, one-legged, 3 from deep. Crazy. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. This season is ramping up to be one of the best in a long time. So, but let me know what you think. Joker, SGA, am I missing somebody? Somebody else? You going to put Mr. 40 LeBron in there? Best in the world? Jason Tatum? I'd like to hear what you think. So, and then we got some great games this time in. Let's come back into NBA action right now and talk about Monday night. Big games. I got a lot of playoff implications, a lot of seeding, East, West. This is going to be fun coming down the stretch, man. Especially a lot of teams fighting for either the play-in positioning or to get out of the play-in. So Monday night, you got Clips versus the Magic. Clippers trying to keep pace. Hopefully they can they're trying to get up into there. No Kawhi Leonard again today. On Sunday. I'm not a big fan of Kawhi. This whole thing that he does where he decides when he wants to play, when he doesn't want to play, it boggles my mind how he's even still in the NBA right now. Celtics versus the Grizzlies coming off of the firing of their coach, making the playoffs, having a great season. Fire your coach with 10 games to go. First game with their interim coach, they do lose to the Lakers. The Lakers needed that win badly. So I think the Lakers matching up with the Grizzlies was extremely lucky for them to catch them on that first game. So, but can the Grizz bounce back? Because they're trying to keep pace. They lose too many games, they're going to start falling out of contention. So Bulls, Thunder. Bulls have bum rushed a bunch of teams here lately. Can they do that to the Thunder? Thunder, do they get that 10th win in a row? That's going to be interesting to see. That's going to be a really good game. I think there's going to be some stuff going on in that game. I think there's going to be that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So, guys, Bulls, Thunder, you got to check that out. Mavs, Nets. Mavs trying to stay alive. Man, you talk about fighting on life support here with everything those Mavericks have gone through, those poor Maverick fans. Now you got AD back. You're wishing you had Kyrie back, because if you had Kyrie and AD, you'd really have a chance. I still think they have literally no chance to make any kind of noise, but they play well with AD. If they can string together some wins, they can keep themselves in the play-in, so, and give themselves a shot. And then you got Rockets Lakers. This is going to be a big test for the Lakers. They got bull rushed twice by the Bulls. They got a lucky tip for a victory against the Bucks last week. This is going to be a big test for those Los Angeles Lakers. Tonight against the Rockets. Baby Rockets playing well. Got Amen back. Man, I love that Rockets team. That is a lot of fun, but they are super young. Van Vliet's been there before. Brooks, so they do have some veteran presence on that team. So I'm wondering if that is enough to get them over the hump. But this is going to be a big, big game for those Lakers, because they have been taking shots here from everybody over the last couple of weeks. Big game going on right now. And then Tuesday, April Fool's Day. Does he even do April Fools anymore? I don't know. Nobody's cracked a joke on me yet, so be interesting to see if I do get one here from somebody. But you got Suns versus the Bulls. Bulls playing back-to-back. Suns just trying to stay even relevant. Right now, they're out of everything. They are out of the playoffs as of now. So Kevin Durant, your off season may be starting super early here pretty soon, especially if you can't beat the Bulls. My Knicks play the 76ers. We need to string together some wins. We need some momentum. We have to play better. Karl Anthony Towns, where are you at, dude? That's why we traded for you. I know no Brunson. He is the MVP of that team. And to me, he was in the MVP conversation before he got hurt. But, man, you got to win. You string some wins together here. Still third in the East. I don't think we're going to move from that at all. But just you got to go into the playoffs with some momentum and some confidence in yourself. So we need that. Warriors playing the Grizz. Can the Warriors hold on to that sixth playoff spot and not have to worry about a play-in tournament? The Grizzlies, can they stop the bleeding with everything they got going on? I'd like to see what that team has within themselves and how they're going to play. And then you got the T-Wolves versus the Nuggets. My man Joker just doing crazy stuff. Best in the world. Lots of great games going on, guys. Lots of excitement in the NBA right now. Man, this playoffs, they are coming. They are heating up. Again, about 8 games left in the regular season. There's a lot of teams out there where every game is going to count to either get you in or get you in the play-in or seeding and see who you're going to play. So I'm excited for it. Again, once we get a little bit closer and those seeds and those playoff matchups are solidified, I'm going to do a little bit bigger show and I'll get some people on here. I want a bunch of the boys on here from Boom Broadcasting and maybe my man from Cody from Drew Code Sports Talk. I want to try to get everybody on here to have some discussions because, man, once the playoffs are set, this is going to be a phenomenal playoff season because we have some great teams out there. Cavs, Oklahoma City, 60-win teams. Can they get over those humps and make it to the finals and meet each other? I don't know. I still have the Cavs. I don't really trust Oklahoma City as of yet, so it'll be interesting to see. So thank you guys very much for joining me. My name is Jason Calenzo. This has been 3 from Deep. Check me again on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock, Saturdays at 12 o'clock. Like and subscribe. Jump on the Boom Broadcasting bandwagon, guys. Thank you all for the love and support, and I'll see you later.